It's not reasonably calculated to ensure his return to court. I would suggest to you he's 41 years old. He's a 19-year veteran of the Lowell Police Department. He has no real record. I mean, he has no good case. He has no real record. The other stuff are minor. I don't think there's any evidence of any defaults in his record. He's born and raised in Lowell. He owns a property in Lowell. He has family. He has a brother in the area, and he has extended family in the area. He knows no other place, Judge, other than Lowell in this area.
One of the witnesses on scene did approach him, at which point he had stopped. As the officer approached the defendant, he noted that getting close to him, he could detect an overpowering odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from his person, and even more so as he spoke. He asked him which vehicle he was driving. He motioned to the white Land Rover. He continued pacing back and forth, and the officer did note that he was unsteady on his feet. He asked him for his license, and the officer indicated that he fumbled through his wallet briefly, stating he did not have one on him. His speech was very slow, avoiding eye contact with the officer. He stated he didn't know it was going to happen like this. The officer asked him what his name was, and he said Eric Blaine. When the officer tried to corroborate that information and spell it, he said B-L-A-N-E. The defendant responded quietly, yeah. When the officer asked him for his address, he stated his date of birth. When he was asking for his telling him that he was asking for his address and advising him that he already had his date of birth, the defendant stated his date of birth again and indicating that's the best way to get in touch with him. The officer noted that his speech was slow and deliberate. From the Methuen Fire Department at the scene, that was when they determined his true identity as Eric Wayne. He also noted that his eyes were bloodshot and very glassy, and he was transported to the Methuen Police Department for booking. He indicated that he was unsteady getting out of the cruiser, and he almost lost his balance twice on his way into the booking area. The officer as well indicated the odor coming from his breath was still very strong at that time. During booking by Lieutenant Tajuga, he asked him for his name. He did not answer. The lieutenant indicated that he was swaying, opening and closing his eyes. His eyes were bloodshot, extremely glassy. He was mumbling incoherently. He indicated to the lieutenant that he was a police officer. He as well appeared to be having a difficult time formulating words. He could smell a strong odor of alcoholic beverage emanating from his person, and in particular his breath. He indicated that Mr. Wayne was uncooperative throughout the booking. He refused to sign any paperwork and had a difficult time answering some of the basic booking questions. He became almost unintelligible at points and began to walk towards the exit of the booking area at that point. They also indicated that alcohol was found not only in Mr. Wayne's vehicle, but it was found outside the vehicle, beer bottles as well. She recalled looking up, seeing headlights coming towards her brother's vehicle in their lane. Unfortunately, Mr. Paula had passed from his injuries sustained in this accident. Not only for the facts of the case is the Commonwealth requesting the bail judge, but we're always also asking for his bail to be revoked on his open matter. As the court is aware, he does have a pending OUI matter out of this court that was transferred from the Lowell court. I would point out as well, Judge, that the defendant does have civil infractions on his registry of motor vehicle cert that stems from incidents, an accident in Lowell, speeding in Tewksbury. These are back from '94. Suspension defaults out of Tewksbury and Lowell, speeding in Chelmsford, failing to stop in Lincoln, as well as other motor vehicle infractions out of Littleton, Woburn, and as well the chem test refusal from his open OUI out of Lowell, where his license was suspended on that. Judge, motor vehicle offenses, which corroborate from the registry of motor vehicle offense for operating after revoked license. This is all back from 1994. An assault and battery from '95 that was dismissed, and then these open matters. The Commonwealth is requesting the $500,000 cash bail to stand judge as well as the revocation in the event, as I stated, if that bail is posted as well, if the Commonwealth's motion is allowed and the time does lapse, those other conditions of release based on the facts of the case, based on his open matter and the OUI, his attempting to leave the scene, attempting to walk out of the station during booking, as well as the other information the Commonwealth has provided the court.
Pre-trial hearing, Mr. LeBlanc?
Yes.
Okay, and defendants held without bail for a period not to exceed 60 days, which would expire October 23rd.
Thank you.
Quietly.